Hello, my name is Lorna and this is my podcast, Threading Hello and welcome. It's lovely to have you here, whether it's your first time watching my podcast or if I'm welcoming you back. It's a cosy corner of the internet where I like to share about the things that I've made. I'm really passionate about working with fibre, whether that's knitting or sewing, natural dyeing, lately spinning. And I also have a dye and vegetable garden at my allotment, which I like to take you to every now and again. I feel like the weather is just on the turn here. It's been quite hot on and off, but we're getting cooler mornings and cooler evenings, and yesterday was lovely and stormy. We had a bit of rain, but there were thunder sort of rolling in, and it just made me feel really cosy. And today, currently right now, it is raining. Hurrah, finally. Proper rain, and it's all moody and grey outside, which I love. And I know that we still have a couple of days left of August and that it's not, right to wish time away. But like many crafters, I do truly look forward to the autumn season. And as soon as I start to notice the little signs that it's on the way, I get very excited. I find that often in the summer, I don't feel as comfortable. I don't really like the hot weather, and I don't like sort of having loads of stuff out. Like, I'm thinking of sewing, really, I guess. But when the weather cools, I start to get all these ideas coming in, and I'm at that stage at the moment. So today I thought, seeing as I'm getting very inspired by the weather and I'm having lots of ideas come in about things I want to make, adjustments I want to make to things, I thought I would do a video about my autumnal plans. Yes, they are sewing, knitting, and spinning plans, and I can't wait to share it with you. Whether you want a hot drink or something, or a little project, some knitting, crochet, stitching, pop me up in the background while you do a bit of sewing, whatever. I love to hear what you're doing actually while you're listening, so please do share. I think I did a video like this maybe last year or the year before. I'm losing track of time and I can't really remember how old my podcast is now, but it's maybe two and a bit years, or I think it's 2 and a bit years old. Anyway, I realised I did a very similar video about the same sort of time as I started to get incredibly excited and noticing the first signs of autumn. And I thought I would make another autumn sort of general plans video because firstly, it's very exciting, and I know a lot of you look forward to the time of year as well. But also, I need to get them straight in my head. I've started making a bit of a list about the plans that I have, and I'm hoping that make me feel a bit more organised. I think I definitely go through a sort of idea sort of generating phase where I think I'm going to do this and this and this, and then only a fraction of them ever sort of come into being, and I think that's okay. I think sometimes I talk about them on here and then I feel sort of almost feel bad that I never get around to them, but you can only do what you can do. I don't want to sort of over create stuff either. I want to sort of hone it down into what I really need and want and what's good quality, what works for me. But I think talking them through with you, hearing if you've made things, what you're inspired by, it really helps sort of clarify it for me, and I hope it does something similar for you, or maybe gives you a starting point and something to think about for making for yourself, whatever. It's just really nice to have an online community to talk these sorts of things through with, because I think it really feels like that's what's developed here. And I was talking to someone about this on Patreon recently. I really didn't anticipate what this sort of journey, where it would take me and what it would become. I don't know why I've gone straight in for like deep reflection. It's where we are. Yeah, I've just felt really connected, and that's just so wonderful. It's a real privilege, connecting to people all over the world, sharing joy in making and in sort of conscious creating, respect and love for fibres in the natural world. And it's just been so beautiful to connect with people who feel similarly, who can share ideas and inspire each other, and even meet some of you in real life, which is, yeah, is amazing. And there have been some tough times for small businesses lately, with lots of various different complications that I don't want to go into here because this is a happy video. But I've just felt such a huge amount of support. My Patreon members have just been amazing, and I've had so many lovely messages just checking in, and that's just, it's really blown me away, made me feel very emotional, so I'm not going to go into it loads now. Anyway, I'm waffling and I'm going off track. But yeah, this is going to be hopefully not just an endless deep reflection video. I'm going to talk you through my autumn making plans. But to start off, talking of wonderful community, I have a cup of tea here from a brew that was sent to me by one of you, a lovely lady called Leslie. Hello. Yeah, it's just gorgeous. Now, from my memory, it's got chamomile, rose petals, borage, dried lime. It is really soothing, and I find that when I want to feel soothed and when I want to feel like calm, having rose and chamomile, it's just a really lovely little ritual. I'm doing it here because I always sort of feel that in my heart, and that just feels really lovely. So thank you, Leslie, that's super sweet. So I'm going to be sipping on this, and I'm going to talk you through some of my plans. I like to make things that are useful all year round, but I also like to follow where my energy goes. And right now, in autumn, as often happens, I get a bit of a rush of creative energy and excitement. And I want to follow that and go along, let myself be sort of swept with it for a bit, because I feel like I have had a bit of a lull in inspiration, especially in sewing. And I'm really excited that I'm starting to feel that come back. And I would say it's my first sort of ever big lull in sewing, and it's gone on for nearly 6 months. And I'm reflecting on a little bit of why that is. But I'm so happy to feel it coming back. And actually, you know, it's not the worst thing in the world, because it doesn't take as long to create a sewn garment. It takes me months and months and months to make a knitted one. And that sort of pause has given me time to really reflect on my wardrobe, think about what I want and need. I don't want to just make for the sake of it. So yeah, it's in a way that's been useful, and now I'm really excited and I've got some plans. So I might as well start with what I'm wearing, although it's not a plan. This is my Pellica vest, which is a pattern by Rosa Pomar, and I love it. I wear it all the time. I get so many questions about this vest whenever I wear it to markets, where I'm sort of taking my naturally dyed wool. The main question I get is, oh, I love that pattern, is it yours? Where can I buy it from? It is not mine. It is Rosa Pomar's, and it's great. I love it. I often get questions from people about making it when they get stuck. I think often people get stuck on the shoulders or the sizing, which seems to run a little bit big. But if that happens, get in touch with Rosa. She's the designer. She'll be helpful, I'm sure. But I love it, and it's naturally dyed by me with walnut leaf from the tree outside my house, and I wear it tons. It's in a yarn that I sell, which is Jacob Winter worsted. Worsted's like kind of in between double knitting and Aran weight, and it was just slightly under gauge, which has meant that I've got a really good fit on this vest, and I think sometimes it runs a little big for people. But it's just this beautiful sort of golden olive colour, and the Jacob is just really like robust. I wear it quite a lot. I've worn it gardening, I've worn it in the rain. It's non-superwash. It just retains all of its like beautiful sheepy qualities. It's breathable but tough and structural, so I'm such a fan. And I'm wearing it over a Zadie wrap dress, which I made in this sort of vintage ditzy print I bought from Merchant & Mills a couple of years ago, and I really love this dress. I don't get enough wear out of it because it's quite like a pretty dress, and I'm not always in a sort of situation where I want to wear a light coloured dress. Like, I'm being mucky quite a lot of the time in the garden, or I'm gardening for somebody else, or I'm at the dye pans. Yeah, but I wear it out often. For my partner's birthday, I wore it to this lovely restaurant near us, and it felt very autumnal. I think I made it in September a couple of years ago, and I sort of therefore associate it with the start of autumn, and I think the orange tones in the fabric make it feel quite autumnal. But there's also like a hint of summer there, so maybe it's perfect for that kind of late summer, early autumn feels. And I like to layer it up with a vest. Now, when I started filming and getting everything set up today, I felt quite chilly, and I've put the pellicle on, but I've got a hot cup of tea, and for some reason I always stand up when I'm filming, but I'm getting kind of hot. And I'm going to take the pellicle off, and then you can see more of the dress. Oh, that tea is so yummy. Thank you so much, Leslie. Here it is. It's by Paper Theory, who have done the incredibly popular, for a reason, Zadie jumpsuit pattern. And this is the sort of dress expansion pack. I'll pop in some full length photos for you as well. And it's really comfortable. I've got another one in a black and white checked gingham, which is short sleeved, and I wear that one quite a lot actually. And it's a nice sort of tough linen from Merchant & Mills, and it can take a bit of wear. So I think I will start with a bit of sewing. Yeah, because I'm very excited that I'm starting to get a bit of inspiration back, which is lovely. So in my last video I was talking to you about the Hinterland dress, and I wanted to modify the bodice so that it was a bit more fitted, and I had this lovely blue linen, also from Merchant & Mills. Bought this quite a while ago now, and it's one of their tough linens. It's 250 grams per square metre, so it's one of their thicker ones, and I wanted to make a lovely long sleeve winter dress. I guess I've probably been watching too much Outlander and Poldark, but that's the kind of vibe that's in my head right now. But I love it. I don't wear this colour often, and I often wear autumnal colours, and then I remember that I've got sort of grey blue eyes, and actually I can see myself while I film. It's quite a good colour match for this, so maybe it's a colour that will suit me. It's just not what I was used to. Anyway, I was going to make a Hinterland dress from it, long sleeved, more fitted bodice. I still am. However, this was quite expensive fabric, and I really want to get it right. So I'm going to do another mock-up of the Hinterland dress. Some of you have done an amazing amount of practice runs. I'm so impressed. And it was great to hear all the information and the things that you learned. So thank you for sharing that. But I had some less expensive black linen, and had a lovely sewing day the other day with a couple of friends of mine and my partner Ben. So yes, my friends Emily and Laura, who have both come to my sewing classes here in Stroud actually, and we've since become friends, which is delightful. We had a lovely sewing day at Emily's house, and I worked on this bodice. So I'll grab it. And I was just playing around really with the fit of it, and yeah, I'm really happy. I wanted there to still be a little bit of ease, but to be brought in a bit of the waist, and I wasn't looking to have waist ties. I wanted to keep it quite like a neat look. I want to be able to layer it up. I didn't want any extra bulk, but it fits really nicely. I'm going to try it on over this, and it's going to look like a cool waistcoat actually. It's got a bit wrinkled in my bag. I was going to make a sleeveless version with a button placket down the bodice and down the dress. I'm going to tilt you down can I do that? One sec, I'm back right with you. So here it is. Actually looks quite cute, like a little corset over this dress. So it should be about here. I've done the neck edge binding, but not the sleeve binding yet. But you can see I've still got a bit of room, and obviously I'm wearing it over the top of another dress. And there's going to be a button placket down here as well. But it's sitting quite nicely. I've got like a few fingers worth of ease. But I basically just wore my, I had a little top version, and I pinned it against my body on the side seam about where I would want it. And I brought it in from the underarm down to the waist, and then I moved the bust dart just in slightly to sort of, because my words are failing me, because previously the side seam sort of sat a bit further away, so I just moved it in ever so slightly, so the bust dart sort of fell in the right place. I'm really pleased with the fit. So I've made a new like traced version of my pattern piece, so I'm going to finish making up this dress, and I think it's going to be a great layering piece with jumpers over the top of long sleeve tops and things, and I'm really happy. So once I finish this dress and worn it a little bit, then I'm going to cut into the lovely blue linen, and I just want to be a little bit careful because I want it to be really lovely. I've kept it for such a long time that it's kind of built up a little bit of pressure. So yes, I am going to do that. But I'm really excited. I very, very, very rarely wear black. But actually, I was looking back through my wardrobe. So I recently did a sort of charity sort of me-made sale on my website, which is still running. There's still a few things left. And I noticed that a lot of things, well, there's a lot of autumnal tones in there, but a lot of them are quite light. And I wanted to have some deeper colours. Maybe it's that wishing for darker, rainier days. But I wanted to sort of have some pieces which sort of draw the colour down a bit and have a bit of depth, so that I can have a bit more variety in my wardrobe. I was starting to feel like the colours were all sort of merging into one, and I was starting to feel like I was blending into the sort of the dry grass landscape of sort of mid mustards and olives. And although that's lovely, very happy to blend into the landscape, love mustard, love olive, I just wanted to shake it up a little bit. I wanted to try something a bit new, and actually I think having a sleeveless black dress and being able to pair it with different things, you know, even if I had a blouse like this underneath, I think that would be really, really, really cute. And yeah, it's a bit of an experiment, but also I think a black dress will just be really practical, and I think I'll get so much wear out of it. I'm keeping it on because I really love the pair of them together, but I'm hot, so I'll take it off. But yeah, so that's plan number one, really. Finish that dress before starting anything else, and seeing how that goes, and then the blue dress at some point. The other sewing plans I've got, I really want another winter skirt. So I was talking about doing, I can't remember if I said I think I was going to do a wrap skirt. I want to self-draft a skirt. I can't even remember now what I said I was going to do. This is why I need to write things down. Yeah, but I do want another skirt, and I'm thinking that it might be like a fixed waistband with some pleats. Now I know that's not what I said last time, because that's definitely a new idea. Maybe with a zip, but I'm not always that big a fan of a zip. Yeah, something about, I know how to fit a zip, I'm very confident with fitting them, but something about the process I don't really enjoy. I think it's also that it feels like a bit of hardware that is less robust than buttons. I always put usually put a button fly in trousers, although actually I'm making some trousers with a zip in at the moment. Anyway, but I'm thinking of a fixed waistband skirt with pleats with like a little button placket down the side, so I think I'm going to just quickly draft something like that. And I've got some of this linen which I got from my local fabric shop in Stitches in Stroud, which is run by my beautiful friend Christina. So yeah, I'm hugging it. I think I just need a bit of like comfort today, and I'm really getting that from this bundle of linen. Yeah, so, and obviously I think this is going to go with my wardrobe really well. So that's something to do. I've washed that, so that shows intent to make, which is exciting. And then I am going to, what have I done with it? Here it is. So back in, I think April, sometime in the spring, I started making another pair of Modern Sewing Company worker trousers. I've made some navy cord ones before and I absolutely love the fit. I wore them pretty much every day that I wore trousers in winter last year. So I really wanted another pair. And I had this 12-ounce twill. This is for the zip that I was just talking about. And I started making these in April, really excited to have them again. And then we just had a blast of heat all spring. It was so dry and hot, and then it never really went away until like a couple of days ago. It's just been so hot and uncomfortable and dry, and I just really did not feel like doing much sewing, and I certainly didn't feel like doing a sort of cold weather sewing project. So I was even doing a sew along for this on Patreon, so I've neglected it a bit because I just haven't felt drawn to doing it. But now with the weather cooling, I can really see me needing these soon. And I know that they're going to be lovely because I've made them before and they were great. So I'm feeling quite excited to work on these again. And once I finish the black dress, I think I should probably work on these, because I think it'd be great to just have a second pair of like hard wearing trousers. They're lovely because they've just got a nice amount of space around the hips and the upper leg, and I just find them so comfortable for like working in and cycling in, just living. Yeah, so I'm really excited to pick up with these again. So if you are a Patreon member, the posts and videos will restart on this. I've done a couple so far, including how I fit the zip. Yeah, so that is a plan, and I think that's going to look lovely with so much of my knitwear, especially this Pagan Sky sweater that I've been working on. I think it's going to be great together. I can hold them up. Two half-finished things. I think the colours are going to be lovely. So, yeah. Other things are, I think I said, I showed you this gorgeous fabric last time, which is another adding depth to my wardrobe piece. And yeah, I was thinking about maybe doing another Hinterland dress in this, but I don't know if that's going to be too many of them. And I saw the teddy dress recently, and I really loved this sort of tie down the side. It sort of like lashed like a historic bodice. Oh, I thought it was beautiful, and it instantly reminded me of Eowyn's outfit as she comes into Helm's Deep in the Two Towers, Lord of the Rings film. Now, some of you might know what I mean by that, but I'll pop up a picture. I have loved Eowyn's outfit. It's more like she's often in, like, until she's fighting in armour, she's often in sort of beautiful dresses because she's basically Rohan royalty. Forgive me if you're not a Lord of the Rings fan. Just briefly, let me go into Eowyn's costuming. It's gorgeous. But this was like an everyday outfit. It's her sort of, she's trekking over the moors in a time of disaster, and it's her like just everyday wear. I love that dress, and for a long time I've been wanting to recreate it, and then I saw the teddy dress and I thought, oh, it kind of has similar vibes, you know, with the ties down the side. And yeah, and I thought maybe it would look really lovely in the striped fabric. What do you think? Would you think a plain fabric would be better for that? Yeah, I'm not sure. I would be really cutting it close on meterage as well, but I often feel like I can figure it out. What I tend to do is print out the pattern pieces, if I haven't already bought fabric, that is. Print out the pattern pieces, lay them out on the floor as tightly as I can, and then measure the area they take up with the sort of width of the fabric I'm intending to buy. And then I know exactly how many centimetres I need of fabric. So I do tend to do that if I've obviously already got this, but if I didn't. yeah, those are all my sewing plans. I'd love to hear about yours. And if you've ever had that sort of dip in sewing energy, how have you found it? Is it something that you've sort of accepted and it comes back eventually? I guess we all have these sort of natural ebbs and flows, and maybe it's surprising that it's taken me so many years before having that. Normally it's more that I'm busy and I can't get to sewing and I really want to, but this time it just really wasn't calling me. And that was really new to me. I felt like part of my personality was sort of absent for a bit, but it's really come back, and it's come back with a bit more clarity, and having that time to reflect has been lovely. Yeah, so I think those are all lovely autumnal pieces that I think will be great for layering all year round, and I'm really feeling all of them. You know, I'm really feeling excited, and like I'll use them all a lot, and like they'll all be real workhorses, and they're all quite good everyday dresses. You know, linen is just such a great material. I can really see me mending them over the years, and yeah, exciting. So, knitting. Knitting is my constant true love, other than my life partner Ben. But in terms of crafts, it is constant and joyful, but it has come back, well, not come back, it has intensified even more over the last couple of weeks. I am having to fight project ideas off everywhere. Everywhere I see everything somebody else is making, I'm really having to try to focus on limiting like what I think I can make and should make. But there's so much that's exciting me. There's so many beautiful designs out there, so much gorgeous fibre. I'm just feeling so inspired by learning more about wool and feeling the different textures, the different breeds, and the more that I experiment with different fleeces, the more it inspires new project ideas. So yeah, I need to finish the Pagan Sky, but I do like to have a couple of projects on the go at any one time. Sometimes I don't want to be looking at colour work chart. I would rather have something that's just stockinette, or something that's got a bit of texture, maybe something small like a sock that I can take out with me. And I really do need that variety. So I can't really be a monogamous knitter, as they call it, because for me I have to follow my joy. I do need to rein in the number of ongoing works in progress, but it is important to me to have quite a few. So I thought I'd show you some of the things I've finished first. So in the last video I was working on this little cabled sock. Here you go. And it's the Unity pattern, which is in the 52 Weeks of Socks book, the first book. And I think it's probably also available now independently. I can't remember the designer's name, but I'll pop it up here. And I just love it. It was such a gorgeous cabling design. And you know, once you've done a few rows, you can, if you feel like it, I stopped looking at the pattern, and you can kind of see when you're ready to do the next sort of crisscross. And I just absolutely love it. The pattern calls for 2.75 needles, which I couldn't find at the time of casting on, and I thought, because it's 60 stitches, and I've got quite narrow ankles, and I thought, oh, it'd be fine. But I think the cabling sort of brought it, and I've done 60 stitch cast on before and it's been fine. Obviously the cables have, you know, caused a bit more tension, and it's just a little bit too tight for me. However, not all is lost, because it has not used very much of my yarn ball at all. This one sock, I think it used about 26 grams, so it's quite a short little sock. So I've got quite a lot left to make another pair, and I found my needles now, so I'm gonna just knit another pair. And with this gorgeous sock, I will probably use it as a little sample at market stalls and things, because this is lonk wool, which is a sort of as it turns out, traditional British breed, often used for making socks in the past. And my idea was that I was going to make a pair of socks in the lonk wool and wear them, stress test them, and Ben's making some as well, to see whether or not it holds up well as a plastic-free sock. I think it should, but I just want to test it first. So if it works out with the pair that I knit, then that's what I'll use it for. And the stitch definition is really, really lovely. It's quite a toothy wool, which I absolutely love, and makes me feel like it would be quite hard wearing. It took the walnut leaf dye just absolutely perfectly. It's just gorgeous gold, and I deliberately had some of the leaves left in the pan so that it would be slightly variegated and just provide that extra bit of depth. I just absolutely love that. So I'm really happy I've got enough yarn left to do some more. I think the pattern's so pretty as well, and I think they'll look really, really cute with some little shoes in autumn. Sort of wearing them over tights or something, and you can see them when I'm wearing skirts and dresses. So I am very, very excited to cast on the others. This didn't take me very long at all, way quicker than I normally do a sock, because the pattern just left me really engaged, and I really wanted to see what it looked like. So I recommend that, and I loved working with the lonk, so hopefully it will wear well as well. There you go. The other thing I've finished, which I haven't blocked, I'm very excited about, I think I mentioned in my last video, is a mitt to match the Briar shawl, which is a knitting pattern of mine. And here you go. So it's got a lot of the same design features as the Briar shawl. It's got the twisted rib and the cardboard crosses, and then the hedgerow design of the leaves and berries. And then my favourite part, I have to say actually, is the sort of the underside and the twisted rib thumb. It just, like, the curved twisted rib here really hugs like the muscle. I think that's called the thenar muscle of your hand, and it just really hugs it. And I just find that so satisfying. So I need to block it and even out the stitches. This leaf pattern really responds to blocking. I just got impatient and wanted to show you already. But I dyed it with walnut and with madder. And I thought actually, I really wanted like a long mitt when I'm wearing sort of knitted jumpers and not wearing a coat or a blouse or something. Then sometimes the chill can sort of get up your forearm a little bit. And I really just wanted that longer length on the arm. I really have probably been watching too much Outlander, but there we go. And I've put some twisted rib up here for the same sort of reason, really, just to keep it nice and snug. And it's, I love it. I love it so much. And because of the longer length, I thought I actually call it the Briar Gauntlet instead of Briar Mitt. It just felt like a bit more robust and longer and a bit more practical, and it's really got that kind of historic look to it, I think, when you've got the longer mitt shape. So I'm so excited about that. And yes, I'm busy writing up the pattern and getting that all sorted and checked, and then it should be ready for you to knit in autumn. So I'm hoping it'll be ready by September, but I'll keep you updated. But I really love it, and I've got a shawl here as well. And you can see, try not to set it ablaze with the candle. You can see the stitch pattern on the Briar shawl, and I just think that they make such a nice pair. I think you can see the theme between them, but they've also got their, individual identities, I think. So yeah, I'm really happy. The Briar sort of pattern means quite a lot to me. I'm really inspired by hedgerows and representing all the different layers of the hedgerows. And it feels really lovely to have translated that onto a mitt, but also added some new sort of design features. So I'm really, really happy with it. I need to give it a block. I was just too excited to show you. I finished it yesterday. So yeah, it's way too hot for this. This is all coming off. The shawl, I mean. Yeah, so those are the things I finished knitting, and in terms of small little projects, I'm going to cast on another, that pair of socks and the second briar gauntlet. Oh, I'm going to keep calling it the briar shawl gauntlet knit. But in terms of bigger projects, my big sort of jumper sweater project is going to be the Pagan Sky, which I showed you last time, and I haven't done any on since because I was working on the briar gauntlet and the sock. But I am looking forward to some cosy evenings to just sit down and work on the colour work of this. It is really addictive. I just was waiting for the wool and then I got sidetracked by other projects. I need to stitch down that collar. But yeah, so I think that's going to be my one sort of big project. And then I really want another sort of t-shirt project. I loved making the Feels Right tee recently, and I wanted to make a vest version. I've got the yarn for it. It's my naturally dyed colour wool developing at the moment. I've got various markets coming up and I'm really enjoying creating a kind of woodland floor colour palette. But this is... it's another Corriedale sock, just like my other Feels Right tee, and I'm going to make a vest version out of it. I don't know when I'm going to get to this because I do have quite a lot of other projects on. And I know I love it when I'll make it, but because it's a vest, like t-shirt vest, I'm not feeling like I'll need it as much. I think I'll wear it loads when the weather's right, but I'm kind of drawn to sort of heavier projects at the moment. But at some point I'm very excited. There it is. I dyed it in the same way as the sock with walnut leaf, leaving some of the walnut leaves in. It might have even been in the same pan actually, looking like a very similar dye look. So it's gently variegated with brown and golds. And I'm really, really excited to make a lovely vest top with this. I think the colour will work really well. It's got quite a nice depth to it, and I think leaving the walnut leaves in the pan has just meant, yeah, you do have that lovely variation and darker depth. So, oh, that will be really lovely. But the thing I am most excited about knitting, I am a massive fan of Tetty Lutzak from Tetty's Knit Garden. I just think she is a incredible designer. Do check her out if you haven't before. She's got a YouTube channel and a series of absolutely stunning botanical designs. And I was talking about this in a video on Patreon the other day, but I feel like you can just really tell a design is hers when you see it, and I just think it's wonderful that she's created such a, you know, a unique voice in the knitting design community. And I was going to knit another by Furka vest because I love the one I made last summer. However, I thought maybe I'll try something different. So I have dyed up some yarn to make her Forest Keys top. I think it's really beautiful. It's quite unusual, and there's something kind of, I think it's based on a Ukrainian embroidery pattern, and is sort of mixed in with some of the like folklore, Ukrainian folklore about having a key to the forest, which I think is just beautiful as an idea and a concept. But it's got a kind of slightly otherworldly design to it. It looks almost like runic, and I just think it's so gorgeous and beautiful. So I have dyed up some wool and I'm really excited to make it. So this is going to be a lovely personal project. Oh, this one's still slightly damp and I can really smell it. I just wanted to show you and it hasn't fully dried. Yeah, I'm so pleased with these. Really, really pleased. So these two, in fact, they were all started off in the same pan, in a walnut pan without any alum mordant. So when you dye walnut with some alum mordant, it goes more gold instead of a warm brown. But I did these without mordanting. So these are, it's coming a bit bright in the light. These are a lovely, rich, warm brown. And then I took one of them out of the pan and I put it in a madder pan, madder root. So all natural dyes. And it's madder root with some soda ash, which shifts the pH of the madder bath and turns it purple. And it's just come out a really, really gorgeous, dark sort of mushroomy purple, and I think they're going to be a gorgeous combination. And this wool I've been saving for myself for ages, so I bought the wool which is Blue-Faced Leicester and Gotland fleece blend 4-ply. I bought it about this time last year because I wanted to dye up some skeins for Patreon boxes for winter, and I did a lovely sort of winter sky inspired sort of colour palette with blues, greys, oranges and pinks and purples from those sort of really frosty sunrises and sunsets you get in winter. And I loved it, and it's really gorgeous wool. So I kept myself 3 skeins. I didn't know what I was going to do with it, and I just thought they're going to be perfect because the Gotland is so gorgeously warm and the Blue-Faced Leicester is really cosy and soft, but it's just got such a nice drape and just like the absolute most beautiful texture and slight halo. I think it's going to have a really lovely structure and drape as this top. So I can't wait. And I've loved handling this wool the last couple of weeks while I've been dyeing this so much. It just feels so beautiful, and that I ordered some more, and I'm going to dye up in sort of similar colour palettes along with hopefully a teal and orange and a gold. Dye them up as like a mini collection as part of my autumnal yarn collection. I don't know when that's going to be yet, probably October time. I'll let you know. Just a very small collection. It might be a little bit more than my normal prices just because it costs me more. It's a really, really lovely fleece blend, and it's slightly more expensive, but it's worth it. It's so beautiful, and hopefully I'll have a little top knitted up in it to show you then. I'm really excited about this, and I'm going to struggle to work on anything else, I think, because I just want to knit this up because the wool feels so scrumptious. Yeah, kind of still smells a bit like walnut. Yum. Yeah. In terms of other knitting plans that are kind of on my mind, for a long time, I spoke about this in my last video, I've had this cone of 4-ply Shetland yarn from Jameson's. It usually sits on the shelf above me. It's currently downstairs because I'm winding it off into skeins. And I decided that I wanted to knit a colourwork or ferrule jumper. And yeah, I'm still umming and ahhing about the pattern. And I just wanted to get started on it. Dyed up my first skein. So if you're a paid member of my Patreon, I've got a whole video on there, and post as well actually, about this project and how I dyed up this first skein. And so check that out. It's dyed with goldenrod and modified with iron, and it's a lovely sort of sagey green, slightly darker in real life than it's coming up. It's goldenrod grown from my plot and picked from outside my mum's cottage, and yeah, it's lovely. I really like it. And it's the first colour I wound off 100 grams, even though I haven't chosen a pattern yet. I figured that it will work in most patterns, and I will definitely choose a pattern before I dye the next yarn. But it's going to be a very slow project, probably over the course of like a year, where I dye the yarn up with plants that I've grown or foraged, and then knit them all together into a beautiful colourwork project, hopefully. But I've gone into more detail in that video, but I'm umming and ahhing over various farewell designs by Susan Crawford and Mary Wallen. But also my head was really turned by the Mokosh sweater by Teti Lutzak, even though it's not a farewell jumper like I originally had in mind, but it is a beautiful colourwork jumper, and I can really see it working well with a lot of the colours I like to use. So like this green, maybe some sort of walnut and a bit of madder, maybe even this sort of dark purple. I can really see that these sort of working well, maybe an orangey pink as well. I think that sort of colour palette would be really, really gorgeous with that design. So yeah, I'm thinking about that, but I'm not committing yet. And there's like a million other things I'd love to knit that, yeah, I'm just having to mark as favourites on Ravelry, make a list, think about what I might use for them. But these are my projects for now. So I'm staying focused on this, and I'm feeling very excited about it. I've just got to heat my tea up because I've been chatting to you so much, getting so excited that I forgot to drink the last of my tea. So yeah, spinning. I spoke a bit about learning to spin in my last video. I am in love with it. Like, I just feel like I wasn't sure whether to learn to knit because it felt like, oh, maybe I've got too many hobbies and things on as it is. Like, do I need another thing, you know, that's kind of vying for my attention? But it doesn't feel like that at all. It feels like time spent with fibre, like an educational experience rather than doing something to have a project completed. Or it's really hard to describe what I mean, but it's like, it's just pure process. With a lot of the other things I do, they're kind of half personal, half for my work. So like this sock is personal because, well, the size that I knit next time will be personal because I'll have a lovely pair of autumn socks and I really want that and I need that in my wardrobe. But it's got like an element of work to it as well because I'm testing the yarn out to make sure that it's nice and robust in case I take it to market. And a lot of them are kind of have that duality, which is fine, and I love it, and I love it being my life because I'm passionate about wool and it's how I want to spend my time, and it's a privilege that I am able to do so. But spinning is just pure process. You know, I will never sell anything that I have spun. It is just, and I don't know how to describe it other than I feel like I'm deepening my relationship with fibre and learning more about the journey of what it's gone through to get to me, you know, as a dyer and as a knitter. And it's just like unlocked something in me that has allowed me to really deepen my understanding of wool as a material and a fibre and where it's come from, and all the stages it's gone through, all the people that are involved along the way. And I just feel so mindful and meditative when I'm working on it and spinning, and I didn't really expect to feel like that, certainly not so soon. And I just love it. It feels like such a nourishing thing to sit down and spin, like I'm properly carving time out for me and my understanding and as a, you know, form of relaxation. And I really didn't anticipate all of that, and it's just been a really beautiful experience. And I know some of you messaged me and have commented to say that you felt really similarly, so that's just so nice to hear. And I'm so excited by it. You know, I just want to experiment with different breeds, see what fibres I like spinning and what, you know, works for certain projects maybe, or try different blends out. And yeah, what a wonderful period of exploration. And I feel like I've got this spinning future set out before me of things to you know, explore and discover. And I'm loving it. And I've got to say thank you to Marina Skewer as well, who has given me the most gorgeous fibre husk skewer blend, and I'm just loving it. It's got so many breeds in that I love. It's got Jacob, Cheviot, it's got Manx, and I can't remember the other ones now. I'm going to sneeze. It's wafting all the fibre around up my nose. I'm loving it. And I'm on my second bobbin at the moment, and then I'm going to apply them together. So talking of a lovely Marina Skewer, we had a little day trip together recently. We went to the Organic Textiles Company in Somerset, and if you're not familiar with them, they have sourced lots of lovely organic textiles, I think from all over. And it was just really lovely to go and visit them in person and see a lot of the fabrics. It's maybe there's like a slightly smaller range than if you're sort of expecting all the linens of Racich and Merchant Mills, we came across while we were there this beautiful cotton flannel, natural unbleached cotton flannel. And maybe I should have mentioned this in the sewing section, but it's just so soft, and as soon as I felt it, I really, really wanted to bring it home. And the other thing I picked up was this lovely undyed linen. It's not that thick, kind of see through it, and it's quite crunchy, but linen always softens with wear. But it's got a really lovely natural colour to it, natural linen, and I can't wait to dye it up. And this I bought for the Patreon fabric seasonal gift boxes for autumn, and I've started doing a bit of dyeing already, and this is going to be part of it, and I can't wait to see how it takes onion skin and also madder dye. So I'm doing a really classic autumn colours for this season's Patreon box, really autumn woodland inspired. So yeah, so that's going to be a dye plan that I'm going to start this week and next week. Also, thank you so much to those of you who joined up on my Patreon after my last video. I opened up some more UK spots, and there are still some available for the seasonal gift tier, which I create a little gift of either sort of fabric or wool that's naturally dyed, or undyed wool with some homegrown dye plants. And yeah, I send that out once a season, so 4 times a year. And I had a bit of a hit after the US tariff situation, but the community response was just, yeah, I know I've gone on about this at the beginning as well, just really moving. So many of my US Patreon members, well, all of them have been incredibly supportive. And I just, yeah, it just really warmed my heart, and I can't really believe how supportive and lovely everyone is. And I had a sort of flurry of new subscribers from the UK as well after my last video, so thank you so much. And yeah, there are still a few spots available for that tier. Or there's my threads tier, which has the same sort of things, and there's sort of access to my patterns and all the videos and posts and things, but not the quarterly box. Anyway, yeah, so I'm very excited about that Patreon dye plan. Yeah, there's the kind of the dye plans. There's the autumnal plans that are at the top of my mind, tip of the iceberg probably. But I'd love to hear about yours, and if you're feeling inspired at the moment, what the weather's like where you are. Is it feeling autumnal yet, or are you still in summer? Or are you in the southern hemisphere and having the complete opposite weather, and you're looking forward to spring? It'd be lovely to hear about that as well. I hope you enjoyed this cosy little video, and I hope you're all keeping well and looking after yourself and each other. And I'm sending you lots of love from a very sort of moody, rainy Stroud. The Five Valleys are finally getting a bit of a soak, which is much needed, and I'm hoping it's bringing more autumnal weather where that came from. Anyway, I'll catch up with you all soon. Bye.